Okay, the STR202 wall sensor. Now, take two. The STR202. Sounds like a Dodge souped up Hemi, doesn't it? Or something. It might be. Okay, this is a Schneider STR202 room sensor. Let me show you how to open it up right quick. There's a couple of tabs up here that you got to take a little screwdriver and just got to pop them. Pop that one in the little slots up there, and that'll get it open. Then you can come underneath here and just pop that one and pop that one and pull it right off. So anyway, as you can see, this is your dial for your 2-degree offset. So if the end user, you know, the person that's in the room here, of course, wants to just turn it lower, they can, or they can bring it on up to a higher level, of course. I don't know if you can see that little dot on there or not. So also got your override button here. You would just push it to override. And so anyway, that's what the face looks like. Let's look inside of it. So all you got to do is just pull it up and then just lift it off with the little hinges. As you can see right here, just got the little hinges on the device itself. So I don't know if you can see that very well, but anyway. So anyway, okay. Now the way it's wired, this is going to an ASB controller, and all this wiring goes back to the controller, and then it lets the controller know, for example, just like on this dial, if we rotate the temperature set point up or down, the controller sees that and acts accordingly to the set point, just like a regular thermostat. And then if you press that little button there, it says the little man, that's the override. So if you were to come in here, let's say at night, and you know, have to be in this room or this zone for the evening, then you can come in and of course just push that little man, that little override, and then it'll override it for approximately 1 hour. It can be set at any setting, but I think this one's at 1 hour. So anyway, so as you can see, your white wire comes into terminal number 11. Let me see if I can pull that up there just a little bit closer. See if I can get down there just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so terminal 11, that's your zone temperature. Terminal number 13 here, that's just your common going back. Terminal 14 is your jumper from your temp sensor over there to terminal 14, and that's used for the override. So if the override button gets pushed, it shorts out and just tells the controller that, hey, someone's in here and we need to bring the system on so that we can give them some climate control. So that's what 14 does. And then of course your common is jumpered over here to 16, and the reason is because there's two separate blocks here. 11, 12, 13 is one block, 14, 15, and 16 is another block. So you got to have a jumper back to common so that when the override is pushed and it shorts out, just makes a little short to common, then it lets the controller know. But if you didn't have this other common here, number 16, tied into 13, this separate block here from 14 to 16 is separated, and you would never ever know if anybody has pressed that little man, that little override. So that's why you got a jumper from common back over to 16. So, and then lastly, number 15 is your adjust, and so 15 is the actual wire that goes back to the controller, that if, as you can see here, if we were going to adjust this up and down, that communicates through that wire, terminal number 15 on this, and goes back to the controller. So anyway, with that being said, I'll also show you the back of the controller, of the sensor, I'm sorry, the STR202, and it's also written on there too. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right here. And then it's got designations here on the back of the sensor. So that's just an overview of the STR202. Real nice sensor, works great. And anyway, wanted to show you that, and let's see what this STR202 communicates to. So here's the panel, and let's get in here in the Snyder panel right quick. Get this open here. All right, okay. So as you can see, this is the controller that STR202 comes into, and it's one of 4 zones on this controller. Got zone 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then as that STR communicates with this controller, with this ASB controller, then it just lets the controller know that you know what the zone temperature is. Excuse me. What the zone temperature is, whether or not someone's adjusted that dial, of course, or hit the override, and then this controller, of course, takes care of each zone. Which, by the way, this ASB is one of my favorites. It's got an onboard screen. You probably can't see it very well with the camera, and sorry about that, but for example, if you were coming here to hit home and then the check mark, you're going to have some inputs and some outputs, and you can place these in hand by just scrolling down with your arrow to where you want to go to outputs or inputs, which would be able to control this unit, which this controller is controlling a split heat pump right now. And you can see the outputs up here, output 1, 2, 3, and 4, and corresponds to the fan, relay, compressor Y1, reversing valve, and strip heat, of course. So really nice controller. I wish you could see the screen on this, and you can see that you can use this right here in case you don't have a front end or you can't get on a computer to get in here and look at the system. You can actually come in here, you know, a maintenance guy or anybody can come in here, and they can actually manipulate the unit to bring it on until, you know, they can troubleshoot the network or whatever. So anyway, really cool, really nice. Got your low voltage block, transformer, of course, which this transformer just feeds the ASB up here. This one here takes care of all of your outputs up here, so that if something happens to this transformer, at least we've got front end transformer running the ASB. Really nice. Got a switch and plug. So anyway, wanted to show you that corresponds with that STR202. So anyway, appreciate you watching, and oh, by the way, please subscribe, and thanks for checking in.